What do you think's in store for the future? Your future, humanity's future, all our future. What do you think will happen in 2050? Where do you think we'll be? 25 years ago, if you were around and cognizant, what do you think you would have said about now? What do you think you would have said 2025 held in store for the world? Well, I have a book that tells us this. Mysterious Worlds, the Future, Investigations into the Unknown. Written in 1999 on the precipice of the new millennium. That's not all though. I've also got about 8 different videos from various times, all predicting the times that we live in now. And by looking at all these texts, I want to answer one simple question. Why doesn't 2025 look like this? You know what I mean. The future.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow!
The science fiction utopia future.
The year 2000.
The one we've been promised from movies, TV, everywhere.
Just imagine 1980.
I'm not looking forward to living in that year, about 50 years' time. I mean, the world seems to be in such a terrible state now, let alone in 50 years' time.
This includes an Arthur C. Clarke speech about the 21st century from 1964.
The only thing we can be sure of about the future is that it will be absolutely fantastic.
Kids in the 60s predicting the year 2000.
And in the year 2000, there just won't be enough jobs to go around.
Kids in the 80s predicting 2020.
Probably be computers running the country.
These 2 documentaries that I really love, one from 1998, the other from 2002, both trying to predict 2025.
In 2025, the world trusts machines far more than people.
And this amazing piece of retrofuturism.
What year is it now? I forgot.
Telling us about the home of 1999. Why? Because I think when times get weird, it's worth zooming out and having a look and remembering that times are always weird and we have no idea what's in store for us. This is Zed in my Alphabet Superset. Zoom out.
But who'd have predicted a century ago that within 100 years, men would have fought 2 world wars, been to the moon, or seen the Russian Empire rise and fall?
Lifestyles, then getting around, a healthy future, in control, saving the planet, technology takeover, and humans ourselves.
As the historian Eric Hobsbawm wrote, the only certainty about the future is that it'll surprise even those who think they have seen furthest into it.
We got 7 categories. Let's do the humanity performance review. Are we tracking with the world of 1999?
Come with us on a journey into the future to see how we'll be living in 2025. It's closer than you think.
Lifestyles. 50 years ago, so 1950, futurologists believed that the year 2000 would bring endless leisure time and a life of peace and harmony.
By the year 2000, the United States will have a 30-hour work week and month-long vacations as the rule.
What changes can we expect to our lifestyles in the future? Alright, let's see how many of these we have. Computer-generated virtual reality will replace real activities. People will take virtual holidays and work out on virtual exercise machines. In school, children will play on virtual sports fields, and playground games will be replaced by high-tech computer-generated versions. There is some truth to this, I suppose. I mean, the most literal way to interpret it is the metaverse, which, yeah, I think both of its customers loved it.
Jenny loves being immersed in virtual worlds.
This right here is a clip from 2002. It is great.
Her wearable can conjure up any environment she wants to inhabit, even when she's really in her bedroom.
All but a handful of libraries will close as more books are transmitted electronically. The latest information will be accessible via the internet. Damn, I gotta get on that.
Imagine a world where every word ever written, every picture ever painted, and every film ever shot could be viewed instantly in your home via an information superhighway, a high-capacity digital communications network.
Schools will operate shift systems with children attending morning or afternoon sessions. Twice as many pupils can then be educated on the same premises. Bold of you to assume that education would rise in importance. Of course, that was written in 99. What were people predicting earlier about 99?
Student attends formal school 2 mornings a week. Much of his education, however, is carried on in a kind of education center within the home.
Technology will rule people's lives. Schools, tests, job interviews, dating, getting married or divorced will all be done via voice-activated computers. Pretty much. Alexa, cancel my divorce. I think I love my wife again.
In the future, we'll speak to the internet in English, and the internet will speak back to us in
you mean
colloquial
speak,
English.
don't you? I mean, you mean literally voice communication.
That's right. You'll program it by voice.
I love this clip because of the incredulity of the interviewer here.
And you say that empowers the individual?
I think so. And I think the key to the whole puzzle is more democracy. That's what the internet stands for.
Well, I call bullshit.
In the sort of world that opens up with this technology, is the individual freer or less free?
I think the individual is going to be freer.
You can really feel the optimism of what was about to come, and it feels a bit quaint now.
Now, this isn't just a watch. It's also satellite connected, so I can receive information, any information I want, from any computer I have access to around the world. And I carry a printer for that information in my briefcase, so that when I get a message, it all prints out like that.
Computers will be strapped to your wrist and incorporate a watch and mobile phone. Could you imagine a watch and a mobile phone strapped to your wrist? Woo! What I really like about this picture is www.line1.net. They're online, and it's like an old website, and then it's got an old clock down here. Something about this is super charming to me.
Teleimmersion is only part of the story.
We're back to this video from 2002 with our, Aldi Sarah Jessica Parker.
For Jenny DeMarco, the ultimate life-changing gadget fits neatly on her belt. A tiny, powerful computer with an eyeglass display.
And truthfully, parts of it aren't far off.
It acts as her personal organizer, assistant, database, and online link wherever she goes. Thanks to the global wireless network, she's always in touch. Voice activated, it can get any data she wants from the net instantly.
Give me a downtown map.
I see you, Sam. Be with you soon.
A single nano gadget will prepare instant food from household waste, such as reconstituted cardboard beef burgers. A holographic chef will offer menu suggestions. You know it, baby.
I don't like the idea of sort of getting out and finding you've got a cabbage pill to eat for breakfast or something.
This is a beautiful piece if you ever just want to watch the whole thing. It's from 1966, a bunch of British kids predicting the year 2000.
I think it'll be people will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
Eating animals will no longer be necessary or acceptable, and hunting will be illegal.
Sheep and cows and livestock, but they'll be kept in batteries. They won't be allowed to graze on pastures. They'll be kept in buildings altogether.
Rare creatures will be cloned to prevent them dying out. There we go.
Amusingly, about 50 years' time, cloned dinosaurs will walk the earth. Are you serious?
Oh, absolutely. And as Mitch talked about the ability of cloning, and who would stop someone like Bill Gates, the $50 billion man, from making cloning happen if he so chose he wanted to?
This one's from that 1998 interview. And while this particular prediction might not be on the money, it is somewhat in line with Colossal, what they're doing with de-extinction.
Over 10,000 years ago, a howl was lost to time. But today it returns.
Also, do remember this guy, because later in this video, I want to show a prediction he makes, which I think might be the most accurate of all of them. Cash will disappear from circulation. Everyone will just carry one smart card. To put this one in context, the smart card idea here is a 1987 prediction of 2007.
Well, I don't have much in my pockets. A few smart cards, holograms of my family.
I've got a somewhat related prediction here.
Fingertip shopping will be one of the many homemakers' conveniences. This video console will be channeled into the store of her choice. There, a camera will scan a display of wares, which she will select by push button.
This is one of those predictions that is correct in its imagination, online shopping, but it doesn't quite have the mechanics of getting there.
What the wife selects on her console will be paid for by the husband at his counterpart console.
More people will work from home, hooked up to the office via an intranet, a mini internet system. High tech, man.
Gianni and Sarah both do a lot of work from home.
This workbench with its electronic screen.
In fact, here's a very direct prediction. By 2025, 40% of people will work from home. A digital desk with an internal computer controlled by hand movements already exists. Hell yeah, baby. I love the future.
It will be possible in that age, perhaps only 50 years from now, for a man to conduct his business from Tahiti or Bali just as well as he could from London.
I think whoever was writing this must have been going through a divorce and just lamenting that the process wasn't easy. Computers, shopping and banking via computer is already possible. In one US state, computers now grant instant divorces. Voice-activated computers should be common in 5 years, and I can finally leave Jessica.
You'll program it by voice.
And then you got these three, which really get me thinking. With computers and machines taking over our lives, we will forget how to think for ourselves. Bang on the money.
I don't think it's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere, everyone doing everything for you. You know, you'll get all bored, and I don't think it'll be so nice.
I think it's going to be very boring. And everything will be the same. I mean, people will be the same, and things will be the same.
Nations will still go to war. That part is true.
It'll be so overpopulated that there'll all be wars.
Or if something's gone wrong with their nuclear bombs, I maybe sort of came back from hunting in a cave.
All nuclear explosions and everything.
All these atomic bombs will be dropping around the place. Well, somebody's going to use it one day.
Some madman will get the atomic bomb, just blow the world into oblivion.
There's nothing you can do to stop it.
There'll be no life at all, really, on the Earth.
And then the most depressing one. The gap between rich and poor, developing and developed countries will widen. The rich will live in communities patrolled by guards. An info-poor class will emerge, unable to access the internet. I'd say that last part isn't quite accurate. It's more like, just can't access anything.
I don't think there is going to be atomic warfare, but I think that there is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. I think something has to be done about it.
Now, what I like about this book is it's kind of written as a textbook. It's a little bit interactive, which I hear the internet will one day be. And so they end each of these sections with, what do you think? And this is where the book goes from just fun to actually pretty freaking poignant. Who will look after our electronic money? If scientists can alter the world at an atomic level, will everything change? Can virtual reality sometimes be better than actual reality? Could life ever become too easy? Is it wrong to eat animals? Not if it's 1 for 1. If we give the cows one of ours for each one of theirs we eat, then I think that balances the ledger, morally. That was a joke. Getting around. How are we going to do it?
Johnny DeMarco knows his autopilot is a safer driver than he is, so he can take a nap without worrying. In 2025, people trust intelligent systems more than themselves.
I see they've watched Back to the Future 2. Children will play on hoverbikes and hoverboards. I remember thinking that that would also happen. Reusable rockets will make holidays in space possible. Oh, Katy Perry, we did it. Not just a teenage dream, that is a teenage reality.
It was only possible to launch a cost-effective satellite network for wearables when space tourist flights started taking freight.
Running on alternative energy sources, cars will be environmentally friendly. They will be amphibious and computer-controlled for comfort and safety. Road tolls, pedestrianised cities with moving walkways and efficient public transport will also reduce pollution. Space communities. NASA has scheduled a Mars mission for 2020. Can't wait.
I don't think they'll be living on Mars yet, but I think they'll still be living around here.
Russian engineers are building a flying saucer? Okay. Time travel. NASA plans to be flying solar planes by 2002. I bet. Using lasers as rocket launchers? Sea exploration. Current submarines are made of light materials, weighted to make them sink. Designer Heinz Lipschutz, good name, believes future craft will be made of heavy, strong materials, have wings and powerful engine, and reach even greater depths. Not all submarines. Alright, here are the reflective questions. And obviously I like these reflective questions because given the scope of my channel, if you are watching this because you like my other stuff, then happily, by all means, these are incredible journaling prompts. What do you think? Could time travel serve a useful purpose? Where would you travel to in time? What will happen if the moon becomes a popular holiday destination? What problems might human teleportation cause? If antimatter is so dangerous, should it be used? Alright, let's do health. Cool. Oh shit, this starts out dark. Every day 140,000 people die worldwide from accidents or illnesses. But as research advances, better treatments are discovered and diseases destroyed. That number is actually kind of similar to the amount of people who escape extreme poverty every day. Not saying that the ledger balances, but not everything sucks, I guess. Probably worth mentioning that yes, that is a great statistic, but relative poverty still is a huge problem.
The second great pillar of science is life.
Oh, nice. This is in every future book ever. Some sort of proto-Theranos.
After he's been to the bathroom, it only takes a few seconds for the system to analyze his urine. It then displays the result and relays any abnormal data to the medical center.
Diagnosing illness will be easier. Wearable microcomputers will record data about our bodies. Home blood and urine tests will be emailed to a medical center and the correct medication posted back. Presumably 3D printed. That's the classic version of the Theranos dream, wherein you get the diagnosis from the doctor, but there's also this one from 1987, wherein you get it from your tie.
I also carry my doctor round with me. A tiny biosensor under my tongue analyses chemical changes in my saliva and radios any changes that I ought to know about to my tie, which changes colour so I can intercept most illnesses before they become a problem.
Serious conditions such as cancer, cystic fibrosis, asthma, and diabetes will be eliminated as the individual genes responsible for them are identified. I cannot imagine how exhausting it must be to have a disease like diabetes, one of those ones where people who aren't diabetic are like, dude, I just read something, apparently a cure is like around the corner, it's just one more year. This isn't to say that we aren't currently living through a medical technology renaissance, which I truly believe we are.
And with the DNA revolution, in the year 2020, when you go to the doctor's office, they'll take a piece of your skin, analyze it, and then give you a CD-ROM with every single gene in your body listed.
CD-ROM, brother.
An owner's manual for your body. Your doctor will then give you a shot, not for measles, but to cure the 5,000 genetic diseases that have afflicted us.
This works if mRNA has funding. Let's check the news. Oh, God.
This means perhaps curing cancer, because we now know that cancer is caused by damage to our genes.
Shout out doctors, bruh.
It means extending the human lifespan, to be able to grow kidneys and livers and extend the lifespan of our cells, and perhaps to design the genetic heritage of our children to make them stronger and healthier.
Uh-oh. Apparently new drug-resistant diseases will ravage the planet. A broken bone will be fixed quickly with an injection of liquid bone cement. A simple injection will prevent tooth decay. All parts of the body will be replaceable, including the brain, though this might result in a completely different personality in the same body. It's like the ship of Theseus, but you? How much of me could I replace before I'm something else? The World Health Organization predicts that heart disease, strokes, and cancer will still be the leading cause of death in 2025. Let's fact check them. Wow. Mosquito diseases. By 2025, the proportion of the world at risk from malaria could rise to 60%. This is where zooming out becomes quite good. Bed nets. The proliferation of bed nets is one of the feel-good stories that we do not talk about in the 21st century, but we absolutely should. The simplest technology of them all, bed nets. You'd have saved millions of lives, man. Just a note on how these bed nets work, because I thought this was pretty cool, is they have this insecticide on them. So even if you don't get a bed net for absolutely everybody in an area, if you have enough of these bed nets, the insecticide just repels the mosquitoes anyway. And I think that's cool because you're not relying on totality. Even if you don't do it perfectly, as long as you do it good enough, it still works. Here's a cool story. Timor-Leste, little country just north of Australia, is now malaria-free, which means since that book was written, they have gone from a high-burden country to a country with zero malaria. That's really cool. That's really cool. Just, I don't know, there's so much bad news, man. Just take a second and be like, yeah, that is better than the alternative. It's incredible. Let's reflect. What do you think? Is switching on a computer doctor better than going to your local surgery? Would you want a robot to operate on you? Should doctors practice on computer simulators before doing real operations? Is alternative medicine a step backwards? Without illness, what would happen to the world's population? Imagine being able to control the weather so that it poured with rain in the Sahara Desert while the rest of the world stayed dry.
When you think of desert, what comes to your mind? Endless sand, scorching heat, no signs of life? Well, welcome to Xinjiang, where deserts are not dying.
What you're looking at right here is a gigantic project from China, in Western China. The idea is that by building the green ring, this big forest ring around the desert, the sand stops eroding, and also they create a bunch of jobs, they create tourism, they create industry, and to top it all off, a whole bunch of solar panels.
From retreat to resistance and revival.
The predictions: we will eliminate famine. This is depressing, man. Alright, real talk. I don't know what to tell you, book. It's like, yeah, technology can do that. The issue is political. Let's take two massive famines that are going on in the world right now. There's the famine in Palestine and the famine in Sudan. Neither of them are because of technology. They're both weapons. They are weaponized famines. It's so sad, man. You can take something that sounds super optimistic, like humans can eliminate famine through technology, and the bit that actually unravels that isn't the elimination or the famine or technology, it's the humans at the start. And then those humans get asked whether or not they prefer McDonald's or Burger King on a podcast. What is going on? I don't know. If you do want to help but you don't know where to start, firstly, cool. Secondly, I personally donate to World Health Kitchen. I've been able to start helping people financially since you guys all helped me financially. So that's awesome. And if anybody has any other actionable ways to help, then chuck them in the comments. More than welcome. Any action at any time is better than nothing. We will choose at what time programs are shown on our TV sets. Hell yeah. Interactive TV will give us the power to change the ending of our favorite movie every time we watch it. By plugging into a virtual reality control unit, we will control the camera angles, storyline, and even take part. That's gaming. It's like what they're describing is really immersive gaming.
But oh, what else have I got in here? How about this for a bit of future entertainment? This is my 3D TV, and I can shut out the world for the brief moments that I'm still stuck on mass public transport systems.
Honestly, I'm gonna give them the points for this one. That's how my phone feels. And then this one. This is another one where the first half of the sentence is super accurate and then the second half is just a little bit optimistic at best. Politics will come under our direct influence. The views of everyone will be transmitted electronically through a computer. So far, so correct. Whenever important government decisions need to be taken. Incorrect. Whoops, that took a very idealistic turn. No, they will be electronically transmitted through a computer whenever anybody has a thought. That is what is actually going to happen.
These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be.
That's Arthur C. Clarke, by the way. Mr. 2001: A Space Odyssey himself. This technology could be used for getting people's views on important issues, or just people's views on absolutely everything.
So we may one day be able to become instant experts.
Which actually leads us pretty much seamlessly to the first question. What do you think? How much control do we need over politicians? What movie would you change if you could? Maybe My Neighbor Totoro, just have like 30 more minutes of the cat bus. If you were in a bad mood, what color would you want your walls to be? Black with blood. Is controlling the weather a good thing? I don't know, let's check in with Dubai. Remember this cloud project in Dubai? Whoops.
It was like an alien invasion. The sky just kept on flashing thunder, non-stop, almost non-stop. I've never seen so much rain in all my life.
Actually, because Sudan was mentioned earlier, and because now we've mentioned United Arab Emirates, I might as well take a minute to also label them as perpetrators of a weaponized famine, the famine in Sudan, through their ties to the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces. And at this stage, I will say, we don't know whether or not the RSF prefers Burger King or McDonald's, but we do know that 14 million people have been displaced. Once again, that is very depressing news, but if you can do anything, that's better than doing nothing. And even if that thing is just being aware, then that's something. Saving the planet. In the name of progress, we destroy rainforests, endanger animal species, and choke our atmosphere with pollution. The mystery, will future developments save or destroy the planet? Still asking it. Things will get worse before they get better. As technology advances, outdated computers and gadgets will pile up. Pollution will soar before car manufacturers develop cleaner engines. Well, that kind of relates to the first one, because then they'll put in the batteries, and then we still got to put the lithium batteries that are dead somewhere, so I guess they can pile up on the outdated gadgets, and we can figure out the rest, right? The world will heat up as we burn fossil fuels. The hole in the ozone layer will grow. There we have some good news. In the mid-80s, scientists had projected that the hole in the ozone layer would become such a problem that it would basically make the Earth unlivable by 2050.
We're all at risk.
Catastrophe, unmitigated catastrophe.
And you can see that reflected in this book. There are already enough CFCs in the atmosphere to continue destroying the ozone layer for another 75 years.
And back then, we used a lot of CFCs.
But that's not what has happened. The atmospheric scientist, Dr. Susan Solomon, raised the alarm bells, and the world actually listened. Public awareness played a significant role. The more people knew, the more pressure that world leaders felt. And in 1987, the entire world came together to sign the Montreal Protocol, a global ban on CFCs. And this still blows my mind. Every single country signed, making it the most successful environmental agreement in history. Now scientists say that the ozone layer should be fully healed by 2066. It not only saved the world, but it also proved to the world that global action is possible. The polar ice caps will melt, and many areas will flood. Correct. The planet will become more unstable with dormant volcanoes erupting. Yeah. But technology will eventually save the planet. Woohoo! Don't worry guys, plot twist. Solar power will also be a planet-friendly alternative. Global warming will cease. Solved. As the cost of making solar conversion cells falls, solar power could take off. In 1997, demand increased by 43%. That is another feel-good story. The cost of making solar panels, solar conversion cells, has fallen dramatically. I think it's one of the biggest feel-good stories of the 21st century. Look at this freaking graph, dude. That's amazing. Again, I feel like this is the theme of this video. We have the power, just there are crazy people at the helms of all of the countries. After Russia invaded Ukraine and embargoes were put on Russia, it is staggering how quickly European nations were able to say, hey, renewables by 2030.
Amazing, isn't it? 20 years later, and the issues remain the same.
What do you think? Will you want a new computer in 5 years? If water can be used for fuel, what will happen to supplies? Oh, that reminds me of that tweet about solar energy not being viable because people couldn't make it scarce and then capitalize off it. Can governments do more to stop pollution? Absolutely. Is everything recyclable? Yes. No furths.
No furths.
Technology takeover. In the 1980s, a US professor predicted self-flying aeroplanes with a crew of 2, a pilot and a dog. The pilot would feed the dog would bite the pilot if he touched the controls. That's funny. The mystery, will technology reach a point where it is controlling us rather than the other way around? It's not really a mystery anymore, is it?
Constant video surveillance has helped cut crime, but insurance companies won't cover theft and accidental damage without verifying the computer's security files. In 2025, the world trusts machines far more than people.
Alright, so back to that 2002 documentary about 2025, it has a subplot that I adore. One of the characters is a technophobe. I say just let computers get married. The brother is scared of Big Brother, I guess. And I relate to that. I relate to his, attitude.
Tom hates all this. He's not alone in thinking that high-tech surveillance is a threat to civil liberties and won't use a wearable computer because he doesn't want Big Brother eavesdropping on his communications. Some people were questioning our relationship with technology long before he was born.
The sister, however, is all in on tech. So this is her talking to her AI assistant.
Jenny had many virtual friends when she was a child, so it's no surprise that her most trusted confidant is the house computer. She chose its face, named it Meg, and set it to display minimal emotion.
Do you think Rowling College is right for me? Would I maybe be better off at Caltech?
The predictions, by 2025, machines will be smarter than humans. People will become wholly dependent on them to solve problems and make decisions. Oh man. Gotta ask ChatGPT if I'm right.
Jenny also programmed Meg to age with her. It's so human-like, she sometimes forgets it's a machine.
More articles in Scientific American. You should apply to Rowling, but you would not see so much of Sam.
What do you think about
Giving computers a face opened a whole new dimension to the relationship between man and machine.
And I think this is a pretty accurate prediction. Like what Zuck said, what did he say? It was like, the average person has a demand for 15 friends, but is only filling 3? Like it's a freaking quota? God damn!
Johnny and Sarah worried about the time Jenny spent with virtual friends during childhood, and think that caused tension between her and Tom.
Or the fact that ChatGPT is definitely leading people to psychosis.
Don't blame him. He's just trying to get closer to you.
In about 25 years' time, you won't think anymore about the sensors that your computer has. You will just interact with it very much as if it was another creature that can see and hear and understand what you're trying to communicate to it.
Meg, you've seen what's going on between Tom and Jenny. Should we worry?
It is not serious. Humans have...
The question is sort of how far can you push that? Will that go to the point where people will prefer these entities to other people? Will it be the case that your computer is better at listening to your feelings at the end of a hard day than your spouse? Well, that's not too hard to believe for some people.
Getting into college.
With more choices to make, people will need electronic selectors. With thousands of TV programs, an electronic guide will pick out items that it thinks will interest you. There we have a prediction of the algorithm.
Every choice we make about entertainment helps the Ambitel refine our preference profiles.
All right, we got 2 out of 2. Oh no, 3 out of 3. I just glanced at what this is. Machines will stop people breaking the law. The car computer will prevent the driver from taking an illegal shortcut. Smart CDs will refuse to make unauthorized recordings. Sensors around buildings will instantly inform the police of suspicious activity, recording acts of vandalism, and identifying criminals through their ID implants. The general direction of that is correct. The specifics, mostly correct, sure, have the points. The part that I think is maybe too idealistic here is the idea of breaking the law. I feel like technology is so privatized, and because technology has become so ubiquitous, that it almost should just say breaking the terms of service. Whatever company owns this thing that you are relying on, that you've become reliant on, yeah, they call the shots, dude. And don't you ever step out of line. Oh, God.
The companies will also be compelled to connect every classroom and library free of charge, so society stands to benefit as well.
So earlier I mentioned this guy. We met him in his dinosaur cloning days, and if you judge him at that, then you can't handle him at his economic predicting days.
You're talking about a world which is organized essentially by the power of capital.
Actually, I don't think it will be capital alone, because markets have never answered great social questions. But we must realize that the economic underpinnings are changing. The value of the information of a transaction may have now eclipsed the value of the goods or services being transacted.
Just in case you didn't catch that, when a person buys something, they're not just buying something. It creates a product. Information. Who is this person? Why do they buy stuff? Can we sell them more stuff? And what he's saying in 1998 is that selling that data will become more valuable than whatever you were selling in the first place. He was so right that some of the biggest companies in the world today, like all of the social media platforms, literally gave away their products for free in exchange for that sweet, sweet data. What do you think? Should we put all our faith in machines? No. Could machines turn against their owners? I think the people who own the machines could turn against their users. Can a machine be creative? I think a machine can inspire creativity. I also think a machine can erode creativity. Would you want a machine to decide what you watch on TV? No, I don't. And they do. They keep doing it. And it's annoying. Alrighty, final category. Humans. How are we all going to change? Cyborgs. With advances in science and medicine, will humans change beyond recognition?
The life expectancy is capped now at 850.
The predictions. Many people are currently overweight, but diet pills will soon allow us to effortlessly maintain our ideal body size, yet eat anything. Well, hey. I guess it's like GLP-1 drugs.
At the turn of the next century, most food will be stored frozen in individual portions. The computer will keep a running inventory on all foodstuffs and suggest daily menus based on the nutritional needs of the family.
Different nationalities will look similar. South Park prediction. Men and women will dress identically. Kinda. Clothes will have built-in air conditioners and heating panels, and shoes will massage aching feet.
I'm wearing part of the gear of the future. Well, it may look like today's, but it's not what it seems. The suit is chemically treated to make it thermosensitive.
Why not? Non-human genes, oh, this one's cool. Non-human genes will be injected into the body to give us animal powers. We could run like a cheetah, or have the acute hearing of a bat, or even grow wings. It's like that Jamie Foxx movie that came out. Hell, if you wanted to, you could even look like Sydney Sweeney. And that might make you forget about Epstein. Which, by the way, incredible moment of media literacy. Look at this comment section. That is beautiful. Great. This is exactly the world that I want to live in, where this bullshit is just called out. Because, yeah, people are tired. You love to see it. Alright, that's a tangent. 1998. What did 2020 look like?
The first great pillar of science is intelligence. And by the year 2020, computer chips will be everywhere.
Cyborgs will become a reality. Memory chips and electronic neurons will be inserted into our brains, enable us to think 1,000,000 times faster. Pills that increase intelligence and learning will be available. That's kind of true.
To cope with the information explosion, we may develop a machine for recording information directly onto the brain.
We will develop our psychic abilities to operate computers by thought and to communicate telepathically. If we still have any thought left. Old age will begin much later, perhaps at 110 or 120.
Johnny's 53, but gene therapy means he's in better shape than his father was at 40. As security checks his ID, he's set to enjoy another 20 years of working life.
One thing that really stands out when you go back through all of this stuff is that the values of the era stay the same despite the technology changing. So it's like, you see it most obviously in that one from 1967, but in this particular clip, it's like, yay, he can live longer, which means he can work more.
He's set to enjoy another 20 years of working life.
Aging will be staved off by injecting minuscule nanoparticles to repair cell damage from inside the body.
Our bodies will also be more efficient, and they'll last longer. After all, it's only in this century that a patient had a better than 50% chance of any improvement when he was treated by his doctors.
I guess you can see what they're on about if you compare Brian Johnson with the other Brian Johnson. You know? Parents will design their own babies, choosing sex, eye color, hair type, and personality. They make it sound so sciencey and not eugenicsy. Clones of people will be grown in labs. Why not? Sure.
And as we never learn from our mistakes, here is our prediction of what today's science and technology will do for tomorrow's person.
What do you think? Alright, final questions. Would you like to live forever? If one part of your body could be bionic, which would it be? Neck, I think. Be cool if you could have like an extendo neck. Just like, I don't know, it'd be fun. What jobs could cyborgs do? Oh, I hope they make all our art and music so I can fill out tax returns. Would you like to meet a clone of yourself? Nah. Should scientists interfere with the human body? A bit late to ask that one, but yes, I think that's fine.
3 great revolutions will give us the power of a god in the next century. The power over matter, life, and intelligence. And the question is, if we have the power of a god, will we have the wisdom of Solomon to go with it?
And that's what the future looks like. I think I wanted to make this video because, yeah, technology's getting better, yeah, comfort's increasing, and yeah, all of the idealism that you can see in those predictions from 1999 come up against just Machiavellian bullshit, man. This is where we get back to answering the original question. Why doesn't 2025 look like this? Why don't we have the utopia that science fiction promised us? My current opinion, and keep in mind I'm just some dude with a YouTube channel and opinions change, I have 3 answers. The first is extreme nutjobs with unimaginable political or economic power who are capable of making great humanitarian changes but don't. Supporting this is the fact that the people who often want those changes for the world aren't the type of people who want crazy amounts of power. The second is media bias, not to the left or the right, but to the negative. This is not exactly a new point, but I do think solutions-based journalism matters. I think it matters to give people a full, complete worldview, including the good stuff that goes on. The third answer, I think, is unfettered capitalism. Let me be the 8 billionth person to say this on the internet, but capitalism, should it be used, should be the engine. It should not be deciding where to steer the car. In my idealistic version of the future, I kind of like the idea of economic democracy, that instead of capital being hoarded by crazy people, you have an economic democracy wherein regular people decide where all of that money goes. That's my utopia. But that is just... Alright. Stop the video. Oh my gosh. I nearly uploaded this yesterday without this clip right here. I even made a public promise to upload it. Then I watched it through and I was like, oh my god. That entire video was basically just a list of things you can't change. That's probably the most disempowering thing I think I've ever made. This is no way to conclude my Alphabet Superset. This can't be Z. I can't just get to Z and just be like, damn, man, guess we're all at the mercy of crazy people with way too much power. What's the deal with that? That is not how this ends. No. I'm gonna give you one more Z. Not zooming out, but zooming in. Because when you zoom out, you get perspective, and you get a lot of perspective. And oh my god, after making this video, I feel like I've got way too much perspective, and it's all just trying to like get in my head like the start of Rocco's Modern Life, you know, with the frickin' books. When you zoom out too much, it can feel like the world is your fault. Zoom out far enough and you might feel like you have to carry the weight of the world in your head. As if you not only asked to be born, but you also asked to be born into like a crazy, unfair, unjust world. And you're like, yeah, that's what I want. As if you wanted the world to be like this. Of course not. Of course not, man. We're not wired to forget horrible things. That's not how our brains work. So when you see them, when you are exposed to them, and oh my God, we are all exposed to them all the time, it breaks your spirit. And people with broken spirits don't make the world better. And so to end this, I guess what I want to say is, once you're done zooming out, remember to zoom back in. Zoom in on your own life. Zoom in on the things in your surroundings. I think we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to the world to notice good stuff. The running water in the tap, the fact that you can watch this video, that you have time to watch this video, that you have lovely memories, that you've met good people, that most people are good people. The fact that most people use their free will in really good ways. Most people raise families, cook amazing food, create things, put things out into the world that connect with other people and say, hey man, I feel the same as you, and oh my God, I just hope our souls can like hug sometime in the afterlife. God. Zoom in, man. All the questions from that book have been fun, but if you only have time for one question, make it this one. This is one of my questions. We can think about everything that could have gone wrong but didn't. All the cars that didn't hit us yesterday. All the water mains that didn't explode. All the mouth ulcers we don't have. All the dog shit we didn't step in. And all the times we weren't robbed at gunpoint. Imagine you're old and grey, chilling on your deathbed, when a genie appears and grants you a wish. Before you die, the genie lets you relive one day of your life, and for some reason, you picked this very day. The one you are living right now. I mean, right now. Look around you and try figure out why. So despite all of the zooming out that we've done for however long this video is running for now, if you only take one thing from this video, let it be zooming in. Let it be the question, why did you pick today? Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long video, it took a while to put together. I know I got kind of ranty in there, but what you see is what you get. If you liked what you saw, I wrote Doom and Bloom, The Case of Creativity in a World Hooked on Panic, came out this year, and this book came out this week. So that's crazy. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Gotcha.